Hello, Kalispera, Danila and I. We're happy to announce that last artistic talk, and I want to thank Evagoras for really creating all this thing. Thank you so much. And we are all, very grateful. And I really want to give you the floor now to continue. Thank you very much.
I just want to start with a big thank you to Dimitri and Danila and everyone at PSI Foundation, because what has been accomplished here in a very short period of time is nothing short of outstanding. And this has been a huge exhibition, and it has brought really together more than 100 artworks that have been collected over the course of almost 35 years by the collector Nicosia, who was also the curator of the exhibition. And together with the PSI Foundation, they managed to put together casts of an island. And it all started as a thought on how to best approach the history of the island and its tumultuous story over the last 50 years, and really letting us make our own minds and connect to all the feelings that we have through art. So this has been a very big success. Tonight, we're very happy to be hosting two artists, Melina Shukuroglou and Michalis Charalambous, who will present both their works in the exhibition and their respective practices. And bringing them together has been really inspired by the commonalities in their work, and also how they use the medium of ceramic to achieve very different things and in very different ways. Both have to do with the creation of new forms that can be termed hybrid forms. And both artists really deal with the passage of time, looking both into the past and into the future. I will present the artists. Melina Shukuroglou is a mixed media visual artist based in Nicosia. Her work explores themes of nature and the intricate relationship between humans, their spaces, and personal belongings. Rich in materiality and technique, her practice fuses traditional craftsmanship with design influences and complex visual narratives. She juxtaposes materials and visual elements to pose thought-provoking questions about identity, tradition, and belonging. Through the layering of different elements, she creates a dialogue between the natural world and the human experience. Recently, she has been focused on ceramic forms, glass, and glazing techniques. Her red clay vessels combine hand-glazed ceramics with vintage frosted glass fragments. This work is based on research and experimentation on soil, clay, open firing, and other techniques. Drawing inspiration from Cyprus's rich ceramic traditions and modern design, she reinterprets these practices through a contemporary lens. Michalis Charalambous is a visual artist based in Nicosia. His practice includes sculptures, VR installations, moving image, and printed materials. He holds a BA in Fine Arts from the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki and an MA from the Open University of Cyprus. He has participated in national and international festivals and exhibitions, such as Anima Fest Cyprus, Views of the World, WIP at Science, and also participated in various residencies. His most recent exhibition, which he will also present, is presented at the moment at the Cyprus Archaeological Museum. So I would like to first invite Michalis to give us his presentation, which will be followed by the presentation of Melina and a combined Q&A session. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation, and Evagoras for this event. My practice. I will start with the material of ceramic and how I am involved in this process of a very traditional technique. So Specifically, in this exhibition, I have an installation with a video of virtual reality that I exhibit in London, in High Commission of Cyprus. It's called Anima. It means soul in Latin word. I try to combine the two materiality of a physical and digital. The most form that I am processing is from a software like Blender, that I am processing the digital way of making something, and then I'm trying to work with the material of ceramic. Before I start this process, I would like to share something that it was, I think, I can say the beginning, the starting point of blending the digital world and the material world. So I was wondering, how can I touch an object in a museum or somewhere that is very untouchable? So I tried to make the sense, maybe the erotical sense of touching something also with the digital way. As you see, this texture in the hand is a texture for a very traditional photograph paper and technique in darkroom. It's a print that I make in a darkroom with imprints in my body. I produce it in the chemicals. It's a very traditional paper. When I put it in the liquid of the specific liquid, it takes this texture of hand, and then I mask it in a digital way, and I photograph it with the ceramic. So I wanted to blend this sense of digital and physical and the erotical way that I see the object. I'm also working with other materials that I'm blending with artificial fur and ceramic also. I can mention that it's very important for me to work with printing materials. It gives me the opportunity to see the object not only in the screen, but in the physical way and the very organic perspective of the volume of the object. So this is a feedback for the process of my ceramic work. The difference is that the ceramic work, it's about gesture. It's about very handcrafted things, and I'm processing also my body in how to make, how to manipulate the clay. And the difference is that this type of technique or production is very quickly. I'm just working in my PC, in my laptop. I'm working in the digital way, and then I print it. Probably it's the same form. It's the same aesthetic. Also, I managed to blend some other techniques, photographs, prototype printings, and in digital way. The recent exhibition that I have in London in High Commission, it was this. It was a physical sculpture, ceramic, and a virtual reality. And this is the same work that I exhibit here. I would like to share with you the recent exhibition in Cyprus Museum. I think it's a very important for me show because I put things like archaeological objects that I didn't have the opportunity to do it. The process of study something that was in the past in the Cyprus Museum, for me, it was very excited. I am relating with some objects in museum. Specific, there are objects like the Eros MCH, and like a take on conversation on dialogue with my sculpture. With the most sculptures are ceramic. I create these creatures. This was very interesting. It was an archaeological object that it's found in a village in north side, and this is the part of the death project, the death subject in the museum. The title is "We Met, Love, Death, and Meta." The title of the exhibition. So I'm going to focus on this sculpture. All sculpture is ceramic, it's glazed ceramic, and I'm combining it with printing materials also. Also, this gesture is very important and interesting for my work because it symbolizes the meaning of touching something and let it go, but you can't do it in the digital way. It's very difficult to do this, to take this form in a digital way. So I'm doing this dialogue between these references. And also, this is the VR environment on this exhibition. I have some references from archaeological objects you can see, and the narrative between the digital work and the past of the archaeological history of Cyprus.
Thank you very much. I just find it very fascinating, this blending of the digital and the haptic, and how you are trying to sort of, that's good. And yeah, I think you said it best when you said, I bring what is far near, but also it's how it's about something that you are not sure you can touch, like the soul. So you keep this ambiguity, and I think this is what ceramics does to your work, is that it makes it very real in a way, but then it's very strange. So you don't really know what you're looking at. Yeah, okay. So I think we can continue now with Melina.
Am I going to manage my own slides, or are you going to?
Μπορώ να μείνω, θέλεις, yes. And yes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Danila and Dimitri, for the invitation. I have decided to write my presentation in order for you to understand better how I started and the process of how I create my work. My new body of work started at the exhibition Till We Meet Again at CVAR Museum in Nicosia, and presents ceramic vessels in an arranged composition. It is an installation of ceramic forms and vintage glass, fragments of vintage glass, which I have collected through the years, and they're placed on a teak table that belonged to my parents, 60s teak table. So it's all about colonialism, and it's all about memories and objects. In this new work, it was a surprise. It was a journey of surprise, and it was a discovery as I was creating and treating my work as a sculptor. Since 2019, I have produced and glazed more than 200, maybe 300 ceramic forms. I went to an art school in the States, at the Corcoran School of Art, and I took ceramics for the 4 years I was there at the art school. I never produced any utilitarian ceramics. All my ceramics were always more into the sculptural approach of ceramics. Abandoned ceramics for a couple of years, and then 20, 25 years later, I started taking classes on the wheel and hand building as well. And I started producing all these works or destroying works, keeping them or not keeping them. So I had a table that had around 200, 250 pieces of ceramic works. So since 2019, I have produced all these works, and the production of this work came about through my participation in ceramist Vasos Dimitriou workshops, and some of the techniques involved high firing earth kilns, wood drying kilns, and other firing and glazing techniques. In this experimental project, I used my ceramic work combined with the fragile frosted glass fragments and turning them into new works of art. The ritual of forms positioned one on top of other is repeated, thus creating a dialogue between form and space, which requests the attention of the viewer to understand the particularity of the composition. My approach to this new work attempts to redefine the perception of traditional ceramic works as a contemporary artistic form. Balancing color, form, and composition was challenging, as the pieces were first created independently and were not made to measure for the composition. It takes a month, 2 months, 3 months to treat each piece. I have it in front of me. I work with the piece, I abandoned it. It's like a collage, but it's like a three-dimensional collage. In a way, the pieces are used like a collage, and the decoration of the vessels present motifs and patterns that were copied from sets of plates and that we used in the first dinner service of the government house, named Cyprus 1878, and applied on my own ceramic pieces in an abstract manner. If we can show the blue and white plate, this is part of the collection in the CVAR Museum in Nicosia. This was ordered by the governor. Actually, he requested a dinner, a serving dinner, and the queen denied to allow him to order the dinner set. So he went ahead and ordered the dinner set on his own. He was very thrilled with the Cyprus nature, so he visited the Salt Lake in Larnaca and other places in Cyprus, so he really liked the Cyprus nature. So he wanted to include part of places in Cyprus, but apparently I don't think he was very well educated, because when you see the dinner set, if you can show some of the other plates of the dinner set, he puts the Taj Mahal and the pagodas. He combines a little bit of British colonialism, imperialism. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if you can see the Taj Mahal along with the Larnaca Salt Lake and the flamingos. So it is a mixture of everything. These plates were commissioned, as I said, by the British governor for this specific event, and they were meant to portray the birds of the Salt Lake in Larnaca as a homage to Cyprus heritage. Once observed in greater detail, there is British colonial buildings can be seen in the background, suggestive of a desire of the British to supply exemplified power. In fact, it is thought that the English porcelain and stoneware came to represent the British aspiration for economic, political, and even intellectual hegemony. Approach the creation of these pieces, presenting my earthly world of Cyprus. As a material, clay represents so much to me: roots, ancestry, and connection with earth, to name a few. All these were made inspired by the dinner set from the British governor, and they were exhibited at CVAR Museum. Then I had another exhibition at the Municipal Gallery in Thessaloniki. The ceramics, some of the ceramics are here and part of this exhibition, but this was an installation, and it's a totally different way of presenting them, very different from how they're presented here in this exhibition. This is an installation in the bathroom of a 1940s beautiful house that is the contemporary art gallery in Thessaloniki. These ceramics are all made with red clay, and all the methods I use, all the glazing techniques I'm using are from the traditional glazing techniques of Lapithos and Karavas. As we all know, Lapithos and Karavas have very good examples of Cyprus pottery, and the glazing techniques are very specific. They have influences from Asia Minor. As we all know, very good potters came after 2021 came to Cyprus, and they have showed a lot of techniques to the Cypriot potters. What makes some of these works very special is that with groups of friends, I have visited various places in Cyprus, like the lake of St. Lucas in Famagusta, Lapithos, Karavas, Androlikou in Akamas, and not for all of the ceramic pieces, but for quite a few of them, I am making my own clay from these regions, and I am also making glazes from the soil that I have collected with my ceramic group. We are in Famagusta with Vasos Dimitriou, and we are collecting clay. What we have done is a lot of experiments of how to use the clay. Use it as a glaze, use it to make new objects. These are various soils that I have used to make sigillata, which is a traditional way of glazing Cyprus pottery. And of course, each region gives you a different result every time. I think this is it. Some of the techniques on the red clay, as these ones, for example, I am using, for example, this one here on the left is graffito. It has been used during the Byzantine era. This one, this little fragile one here, this one here, it's a special technique that we're using with the brush just to splatter the glaze on the object. And then if some of the other vessels, for example, this one here, is when they were holding the object and then dipping it into the glaze. And I am sure that you have noticed in the museum, in the Byzantine Museum, only part of the pot is glazed. And this is because they did not have enough money, and they wanted to, it's for economy, you know, for saving the glaze. So this is why you see part of the, but I am redefining the process and I give it a more contemporary approach. Thank you.
Thank you, Melina. It's very inspiring to see really your in-depth research of this and to sort of understand how you go about using all these anecdotes almost in producing new forms and bringing things to the surface.
Sorry, what I did not mention is that I did mention that I had all these 200, 300 pieces on my table, and then I had some of the glass pieces also on my table, on my working table in my studio. And it started as an experiment. It was almost like an accident. And I think this is the beauty of art, to play and to break rules and to redefine things and to discover things. And as I mentioned, it's like a collage. And every time there is a beautiful surprise of how it ends and how it becomes a piece.
How do you want to talk a bit about your relationship to the potters and actually how you came about ceramics?
Specific ceramic, you mean?
Yeah, ceramic.
This material gave me from the starting point this playfulness of a child. The meaning of building something, but you can reconstruct and build it again with no gildings, with no plants. Think about a child, about 4 years old. It's playing with Lego. Lego is very reconstruction. It's the method of the Lego is like it's building something, you can destroy it and build it again. This opportunity was playing very, very important role for my practicing. And when I discovered this opportunity to play with clay, it was like a liberation as an artist for me. It's the process of doing something, making something with my hand, with my body, and with my spirit. It was like a meditation. And sometimes it's very quickly, it's very brutal process, because for the first step, you have to manipulate the clay. You have to be strong with the clay. And the interesting thing is that in the process, you have to be careful. Like it's your child. So it was very, very interesting for me, this process. Also for me, it's very important the first references that I have with important people, like Vassos Dimitriou. He's a ceramic artist. I had to respect this. Also, I had to respect the material. The material is very historical.
I mean, it's fantastic because when I look at these works, instantly my mind goes to what happens in the virtual environments. And I feel that this almost freezes time and it brings it out, which is like very different to what is happening with Melina's pieces, that I feel they are more about a certain passage of time in a way. I mean, it's also present in your work, especially in this, yes, in this gesture, as you said. Yeah, and it's important that we also mentioned the influence of Vassos here. And it's also a way to, we always joke about this, but it is such a big part of Cypriot art and Cypriot craft, ceramic, and it captures all these histories, and it's very fascinating to see how it progresses and how we use it now. I mean, here we see a lot of the play element. It's fantastic. And they're really like bodies for me as well.
A lot of times, many people tell me that they think that they resemble women's bodies. So if you see all of them there gathered there, yes, you can see a female body, or maybe even a reference to Kukumara, the Cyprus vessel. Nina Iakovou was the first one in Famagusta to create Kukumara with the female body. Of course, I did not have this in mind. For me, the most important thing is to create the clay, to create the glaze. And I have to say that none of these, any of these, because I have not only attended a Vassos Dimitriou workshop, I have attended a few other workshops in Greece, George Vavatzis and a few other Greek potters. For me, ceramics is an endless course, procedure. It's something so interesting and so deep. And for me, at the beginning, when I started collecting the clay and doing the glazes on my own and doing the sigillata, I think at one point I was a bit stressed because I realized that there are so many ways to approach ceramics that I had to start focusing and remain only to one technique in order to create a whole body of work. Otherwise, I think you can get lost. You really have to open one chapter and close the chapter. It's not easy to work with many things at the same time. Here at the CVAR, it worked very well, I think, as an attempt to place objects in the permanent collection of the museum and to discover the pieces. So in the previous photograph, I think you can, yes, here, the two objects, the new objects were placed with the dinner set, and the viewer had to discover the new pieces.
Yeah, which is the same hybridity what you did as what Michalis is doing between the virtual world and the real world. So there is almost something of a camouflage. You camouflage a presence, and then you are on your own to discover what is real and how it is real. And I think this is a great achievement in the works. Yeah, and it brings a lot of pleasure as well. Yes.
These are the first pieces I did. This is actually just out of the, some of them just out of the kiln and just plain. And there is a very naive way. And most of these pieces are without the glasses. And now I'm moving towards that direction because I think as if I want to approach them more as sculptures, I can maybe play just with the ceramic forms. I'm also interested to play with the glass forms as well. I enjoy both procedures.
I would like to say something about Melina's work. I see that it's you connecting things, and the method of doing ceramic, mostly you are doing small pieces. So it gives you this opportunity to build something like a totem, like a form of something that you can remove this, or it's...
No, it's permanent. It's permanent. It's permanent. But I am thinking of going bigger now, so...
Okay, yeah. For me, this method also is very functional for the transportation of the work. So this functional problem gave me the opportunity to think things and to make things in other way. For example, as artists, we are working in a small scale of work.
This was quite big in the museum, though. It's many pieces assembled together.
Yes, they are separate.
Yes.
I just connect them. Yes.
Can we also talk a bit more about the 3D print? Because you mentioned it in passing, but...
Yes.
Yes. You mentioned something in the beginning about how this is also like ceramics for you when you 3D print.
You mean how is reconnecting with my practice in ceramic? Yeah, I realized that when I'm sketching something before I make ceramic work, when I'm doing my plans to do something, I'm making a very good research about this. I'm working with drawings, and then I'm working in softwares with 3D making. And I realized that it's not enough to have it only in a picture to work as a sculptor. I needed to produce it as a prototype to see the volume, the real volume. So it's helping me to do things in my ceramic work. But also I'm showing work as an art piece. Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to both of you for sharing this, all the information.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Vaora.
Looking forward to seeing you at the next.
Thank you for coming.